True crime tourism. It is a term that a lot of true crime fans absolutely hate, but a pastime that is actually gaining in popularity. Like everything, there are different meanings to the phrase. Some people visit the scenes of crimes to learn about police investigations and add to their own understanding of a case, while others seem to be more about getting likes on social media. And there's a lot of those.
Good morning, guys. TrueCrimeKing back. How's everybody doing this morning? So we're going to be talking about and watching a video. I'm going to be reacting to Pro-Kohberger group banned on Reddit. I guess we're going to find out why. Here we go.
Seen it firsthand in Moscow, Idaho. This new exclusive video shot over the weekend shows multiple people stopping at the King Road house for a photo. You see them there. It's one of the reasons the University of Idaho president says he plans to...
I don't know why you would, drive out there and get a photo. You can just get a photo right online, right? Without making the drive, right? I don't know.
Demolish the house. But it's not just the crime scene that these true crime fanatics are obsessed with. Some are also obsessed with the man who is accused of committing these 4 murders.
Yeah, you know that phenomenon, girls, sometimes some girls get attracted to, killers. It's happened a ton in the past. I'm sure there's girls email or writing letters to Kohberger right now, trying to be his wife and his girlfriend. I don't know why. If you're one of them, put down in the comments why. He's gonna be in prison for the rest of his life. If he gets convicted, he could face the firing squad. Why? I don't see any reason at all to date or marry a guy like this. He's a piece of shit, right? I don't get it.
Yep, this is very, very weird and can be hard to understand.
If he's guilty, allegedly. But they still do it even after they're convicted.
But Brian Kohberger actually has groupies, as sick as that sounds. Facebook pages.
Here we go. See?
With names like Justice for Brian Kohberger. They've got thousands of followers. And just last week, a Reddit thread of Kohberger supporters called Nation was banned from the site. Thank goodness. So what makes people so infatuated with alleged killers and in some cases convicted killers? Joined by the guy who understands all of this, Dr. Scott Bond. He is a criminologist and the author of the best-selling book, Why We Love Serial Killers, The Curious Appeal of the World's Most Savage Murderers.
I get, true crime people like me like to, because we're fascinated by it. But I would never, like if a girl was a serial killer and in jail or accused of killing people, I wouldn't want to date them from jail. Or even if they got out of jail, I don't know. I would just, because then I would think, oh, they could do that to me, right?
Podcast is called Killing Hour with Doc Bond. Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Brown. So first of all, I think there's a...
And what are you gonna gain if he's convicted and he's in jail for the rest of his life, right? Or on death row for 30 years, and then faces the firing squad? Like, what do you gain? You have to drive to the jail to see him. You have to do everything, right? He doesn't have to do anything. He's just sitting there and probably talking to other women, many other women, while you think you're the only girl talking to him. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that.
Distinction here, I've been outside a lot of crime scenes where people will drive by and maybe put the window down and take a picture and they've seen it on the news. And then,
like it happened with Jeffrey Dahmer, Scott Peterson. all kind. Chris Watts, you know.
You've just got crime junkies, which I've got family members and friends that are into true crime, and that seems like one thing. But then you've got this other group that like falls in love with some of these serial killers. How does that happen?
Well, that's a great question, and you're right. It really is a spectrum. I mean, on the one hand, there's healthy curiosity, but then on the other hand, it can also become an obsession. And this is not a new phenomenon. In fact, there have been cases such as Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, back in the 1980s.
Yeah, that was before my time, but I'm sure, well, we're going to hear about it.
He actually married one of his groupies. And of course, Charles Manson and Ted Bundy and others had legions of groupies. So, why does this happen? Well, I think there's a couple of things at work here. Technology is one of them, and you mentioned that.
It's not like they're going to be able to get out of prison and come, be the badass that they were, right? They're in jail for the rest of their lives, right? At least the examples that he just gave, Manson, right, Bundy, and Richard Ramirez. That guy was disgusting. I mean, you watch videos, you can hear about people talk how, his teeth were all rotted, and like you could smell him coming, and you could just smell him, and I mean, I just don't get it. But if you are one of these groupies, yeah, like I said, comment below and let me know why. I don't get it.
There are those individuals who I think are seeking their own 15 minutes of fame by injecting themselves into the investigation.
Oh, okay. That's a good point. Because if they start dating these people, then they might get in the news, right? And then their name might get out there. Okay. So it's basically like a gold digger, right?
Into the case, and they become almost like...
Then they can get inside information and then try and write books and and then they'll have letters from the killer and all that. Okay. Now I'm starting to get it.
Demi-celebrities in their own right. You have other individuals that I would say are lacking something in self-esteem or an emotional deficit, where they feel that they can fill up this hole somehow inside of them by vicariously associating with these types of individuals. And that really gets to the groupie phenomenon.
Okay, so we got either people with very low self-esteem that probably can't or don't think they can get somebody on the outside, a normal, non-killer, regular man, right? Or we got the I want to get famous and try and get rich off this person. So now I understand. I guess you don't need to comment now, but I would still like to hear if any of you are watching this.
And with the female groupies, with the male perpetrators, I like to call that the bad boy syndrome. And what I mean by that is, he may be a bad boy, but he's my bad boy. I'm the only one who understands him. We're soulmates. I get him.
Yeah, but there's plenty of bad boys that aren't in jail, right? Okay. And they got caught. So, there's bad boys that don't get caught, right?
And no one else does. And so once again, that gives a person, the groupie, self-esteem, makes her very special, so that she becomes fulfilled. That's something that's missing in her.
Me calling Bry's tablet so I can entertain. See, look at this girl right here. I think she's had some daddy issues. I'm calling Bry's tablet so I can entertain him with my skimpy outfit while he's in his jail cell.
And
Look at that dance.
And these individuals, do become sort of demi-celebrities.
I remember the first time I saw this, Dr. Bond, was in Parkland with the Parkland massacre, that awful
Oh yeah, Nicholas Cruz is another one, right?
school shooting. And the suspect there, we requested through a public records request all of his mail, and he was getting all of this mail. And some of it was interesting. It was people sort of trying to understand his frame of mind, which I could sort of understand. But then there were these women like sending him sexual messages, almost like there was a very strange attraction to this killer. And I could never wrap my mind around it. But I guess this bad boy syndrome that you're talking.
I don't know, me, I'd rather stay out of jail and still get, it's the same thing, just not in jail. But that's me, right?
About, but it's still, I think for most people sitting at home, it's just hard to really understand.
Well, again, I wouldn't necessarily say that these really extreme groupies are necessarily mentally ill, but I would say that there's something missing there, something that draws them to this, whether it's an emotional deficit, as I said, or something, a personality disorder.
Well, yeah, they might not be mentally ill, but there's something wrong with them, okay? That's not normal. Just, in my opinion, okay, dating or marrying a guy that's serving the rest of his life in prison for murdering people is not normal behavior. And that's not allegedly, okay? That's how I feel.
Where they literally, I think, have a hole inside of them emotionally, and they're looking to fill it up by this vicarious association. And if you think about it, somebody like Ted Bundy is the ultimate fixer-upper. I've heard some of my female friends talk about they're attracted to fixer-uppers. Well, a serial killer or a convicted murderer is the ultimate fixer-upper. He's not going anywhere. You know where he is, and to the extent that...
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's another point. He can still be cheating on you, though. I mean, if they're getting if they do get conjugal visits, you don't know if he's having other girls come visit him in jail, right? And he's almost surely sending letters to other women, probably any women or any woman that is attractive, and sending him a letter, he's gonna write back.
If you become his soulmate, then you are special by association. And I think that's a large part of what's going on here.
Yeah, and I guess to an extent, like you said, with social media, they can hide behind their computer. They can almost get close to the danger, but it's not actually dangerous for them, knowing that these men, are likely in prison for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, it'd be different if, let's say he got like a 30-year sentence, and then the governor or the president, let him out, right? And then he moves into, your house. Then you might start thinking differently about that relationship, right?
Exactly. They're not going anywhere. I don't have to worry about where he is. I know his cell number, so he's not going anywhere. But what you just mentioned, Brian, is actually, I think, part of the appeal of true crime in general. It allows us to get close to the flame without getting actually burned. And with the groupies, they're taking it to an extreme. They're taking it to the point that they actually have a relationship, developing a relationship, even if it's only through the mail or on the telephone. But they're intimately involved with this individual. They're in their life, so they get that vicarious thrill that they're looking for.
Yes, this was a good video. Let's just learn some stuff.
For the fulfillment that they're looking for.
It's so strange to think about. Obviously, a major distinction, because I know all sorts of true crime fans, and that's pretty normal these days to be interested in cases, and a lot of people genuinely want to help solve them, or they have genuine sorrow for the victims. But to take it to the next level, you know, the groupies, as they call it, or, you know, the attraction to a serial killer, like you said, I mean, so some of these folks may need serious help.
Thank you for what.
Yeah, some do need serious help. But yeah, hope you guys liked it. If you did, please hit the like button for me. If not, you don't have to hit the like button. It's all good. And until next time, True Crime King out.